There was a tower to observe stars in the 7th century, in Shilla Kingdom. It was called Cheomsungdae, meaning a place to watch stars. This is the oldest surviving astronomical observatory in Asia. Despite experiencing several earthquakes, wars, and natural disasters, it still maintains its original appearance without any reconstruction or repair work since its construction. It was built by King Sunduk. She was the 27th ruler and the first female ruler in Shilla. One of the interesting things about this observatory is that it is located in a town very close to a palace. Cheomsungdae is located at an intersection of important locations. The latitude of the Sondo mountain base and the path of the winter solstice were considered. This explains that she didn't build this Cheomsungdae only for the astronomical reason, but also for her royal power. Well, by placing the well symbol in Cheomsungdae, which is an important birth story of Shilla, her royal authority can be stabilized. Story goes like this. There was a girl who was born from the side of a chicken-head dragon, and a boy hatched from an egg, near a well. The baby girl had a bird's beak. After washing her in the well, her beak fell off. Afterwards, the boy and girl got married, and founded their own country, and became the king and queen of Shilla. However, regardless of a birth story, a well ruled as a Buddhist symbol. It served as an important passage connecting the underground earth and sky. To empower the Buddhist royal authority, she also built Shilla Tower near the Cheomsungdae. Those architectures can fulfill religious, mythological and political functions as a way for her to prove her credentials and abilities towards a male-centered society. By the way, where's the well? The well is not an actual well. From the top view we can see one letter. It means well in Hansa. The vertices of the squares are directed to where sunrise and set on certain important days, like a winter solstice. The shadow of the vertex of the sharp part will reach a certain level of the building on that day. It can be used as an instrument to observe solstices and equinoxes. The harmony of a square and a circle. Now let's see if there are any other symbols. Circles and squares were important shapes representing philosophy about parents at that time, with the circle symbolizing the father and sky, and the square symbolizing the mother and earth. World only works beautifully with the harmony of parents. This philosophy continues throughout Korea's history. If we look closer to the building, we can see that the surfaces of the stones that make up Cheomsungdae are polished into curved surfaces. It is not stacking uniform bricks to form a circle in Gon polygon. It was important for them to trim the arranged stones into perfect circles to reflect their belief about the world, circle as a father or sky, square as a mother or earth. Enduring about 1,500 years, even through earthquakes, the balance of those circles has been a bit broken. But still it maintains its original shape. The platform in the bottom part of this building is a square prism. And also the entrance in the middle of the body does. The square entrance is rotated 16 degrees to east from south. So, sunlight can reach deep inside on the equinoxes of March. Based on the measure of the width of the square entrance, a sunbeam will enter the room for 2 hours per day around noon. And the depth of the sun can reflect seasonal changes. When the light does not enter the room at noon, it announces the summer solstice. In March and September, when the sunbeam touches the stepping stone of the door, it tells the equinox. When the sunbeam enters deeply to the room touching inside the stone, and tells the winter solstice. Does orientation matter? It is interesting in finding a similarity from the building between two civilizations. S-curve. The top part was well-shaped. The platform part was a square prism. Now let's take a look at it from a distance. How would you like to describe the shape of the body? The body part is the collection of a circular prism. But not only that. It looks like a bottle. As we mentioned earlier, the story of well is very important to Shilla. It tells the birth of the Shilla. And it is a Buddhist symbol as well. Maybe, this bottle is for keeping an imaginary holy water from a well in the sky. Observatory with curve in Mexico. Cheomsungdae is not the only observatory that shapes the bottle or bell. There are at least 3 more in the world. In Mexico, 3 astronomical observatories are known with the bottle-shaped, but with an internal curve. Among them only Xochicalco is open to the public. It was founded in about 650 AD. Almost the same time Cheomsungdae was founded. From the bell-shaped tunnel in Xochicalco, Mayan people observed an important day, for them, through the movement of the sunlight reaching to the bottom. A sunbeam can be observed in May and July, when the sun is at its zenith. It's fascinating how two very distant civilizations figure out specific days of the year, at almost the same time, with similar design. Mathematical curve. We can have another imagination, or exploration. The Cheomsungdae body means, not only the bottle for well. It also reflects an astronomical meaning. The S-curve. The body curve of the Cheomsungdae represents the annual change of sun in the zenith. For a country where agriculture is limited by for distinct seasonal changes, March through September is a very important season. From the 1st to the 24th stage, it follows a curve, and above it, it forms a cylindrical shape. The path of the sun over the season fits nicely with the body. Numbers and mathematical symbols in the building. Kim gave a new interpretation connecting the 7 circles of cosmos, explained, from the book with the Cheomsungdae. The 7 circles represent the knowledge of that time about the cosmos. The smallest circle is a cycle of a winter solstice, middle part equinox. The largest circle is for summer. Cheomsungdae reflects the understanding of the cosmos at that time, based on the book. As a mathematician, he likes to enjoy stories about numbers on Cheomsungdae. Let's find more numbers from Cheomsungdae. Cheomsungdae used 365 stones for the body part. 364 stones on the surface of the body, 1 on top of the inner body. It is days of an year. The body consists of 27 layers. This number is the orbital period of the moon, and also the order of King Sundok's ruling. Number of stage can be counted from 28 to 31. 12 underlayers consist of 16, 15, 15, 16, 16, 15, 18, 15, 15, 14, 14, and 13 stones from the bottom. In total the number of stones is 182. The upper 15 layers consist of a total of 184 stones. 12 stones have been used for the platform. We don't have an exact picture of the inside of the bottom platform. From the worldview at the time, it is natural to judge that 12 stones were used for the platform. It is difficult to make a detailed estimate of how the stones are arranged. Apart from the division of 12 months, based on the motion of the moon, 24 periodic divisions of the year were considered to understand seasonal changes. It is based on solar rotation dividing it by 15 degrees. With this division 16, 15, 15, 16, 16, 15 days were counted for that period. Those numbers of stones are represented on the lower layer of the Cheomsungdae. Kim has found interesting mathematical relationship between 27, 364 and 365. 27 is for the number of King Sundok. 364 is the number of Cheomsungdae, and 365 is the number of a year. We never know whether they considered this relationship of numbers, but we can tell that they use the knowledge of sides of the right triangle in the construction. The book Shilla Tower introduced a visual proof of a theorem called Gugohyun, familiar to a Pythagoras theorem. The special number 3, 4, 5 are also introduced to explain this relationship of the sides. We can also find those numbers from the ratio of the Cheomsungdae. The Earth's axis is tilted 23.5 degrees from the plane of its orbit around the Sun. This angle is also reflected on the Cheomsungdae. Ratio on front side 3 to 5. Ratio on half rotated side is 4 to 5. Earthquake resistance. Gyeongju is an unstable stratum region, so earthquakes have occurred frequently. Still, 1 to 3 intensity earthquakes occur every year in the region. The highest intensity earthquake recorded recently was 5.8 on September 12, 2016. However, Cheomsungdae has endured over 1,500 years and still maintains its original form at the time of its construction. What are the secrets of the construction for the earthquake resistance? 1. Materials: granite stones used and stacked without using mortar. The lower 12 layers used hard granite stones, other parts with standard granite. Granite has a hardness of 6.5 to 8. Generally it is harder than a steel knife or scissor. The weight of exposed stones over the 13th layer is estimated to be 50 kilograms to 870 kilograms from the measure of the volume. The stones used for under 12 layers are even denser, harder, and way bigger than the stones above exposed. So we can easily guess how heavy it could be. Overall, solid and harder granite be used for the lower layer of the building, and the space between the stones be filled with soil to increase the load on the lower part, allowing the gravity point to be stably placed low enough. 2. Each layer is trimmed in parallel, so it can help to maintain the balance of the building. 3. Stones of each layer are placed slightly inward, from the lower layer, and the edges are trimmed to protrude slightly upward, to block the force of pushing outward. We have no idea about the inner shape and arrangement of the bottom platform, only with the observation of the number of stones exposed on the surface. But we can assume the number of stones with high probability as 12. Because this building is reflecting the understanding of astronomy and the cosmos of the time, we can assume the following arrangement of 12 stones for the bottom platform, the second layer, platform. This exposed, the second platform is stacked on the buried square platform, the first layer platform. Stones of the first layer of the curvy body must be stacked on the square platform, locking its edge, using protrusion to the inner space, so to prevent its force to outward. 4. Rubble and soil filled the space between stones and inner area, and meant to absorb vibrations and collisions. From the exposed layer 12 we can observe rubble and soil filled the space between stacked stones. But for the lower part, we have no data about the inner shape of stones. Following the consistency, we can assume that the lowest stone need to be longer to have enough length to lock themselves to the inner hole created by the surrounded 12 stones. 5. Interlocked bar on the upper layer. Upper layer has no filled soil to protect this building from collision, vibration, or any other kind of obstacles. Instead, 8 crossbars are used. This serves as physical support of the bottle body and helps maintain the placement of other stones of the body. The arrangement and direction is following. On 19th layer, to bars located in the east-west direction. On the 20th layer, to bars located to the south-north direction, but not penetrated to outside. On the 25th layer, to bars located to the south-north direction, penetrated to the outside. On the 26th layer, to bars located to the east-west direction, but not penetrated to the outside. 6. It is leaning or leaned. The recent earthquake caused the building to tilt a little more. Constellation. Expansion of the cosmos on Earth. 3 castles on the mountain and 1 giant mountain-shaped tomb form the rhombus's vertex of the site. Cheomsungdae is located at the center of them. This is one reason why Cheomsungdae has to be located in the field, not up on a hill or a mountain. Based on the map of constellations of that times, there were constellations reflecting the kingdom. Of course, they had different naming systems of stars these days. So, the kingdom on Earth wanted to make their place the same as the ideal kingdom in the sky. The location of Cheomsungdae is consistent with Gyeongwoo star, and the same way, Chunjin star and Gugum star are also consistent with Garden of Banwal and Banwal Castle. It is clear that there was an attempt to match the constellations of the sky with the constellations of the Earth. So, to understand about the Cheomsungdae, we have to see it globally with nature and architecture that are connected with it relatively. The location of ancient tombs and important architectures of that time reflect the constellation. Amazing. Earthlings attempted a one-to-one correspondence between humans on Earth and the stars in space. Measure of Cheomsungdae. If you want to model Cheomsungdae using Tinkercad or other modeling tools, you may need information on measurement. Each level has a height of about 31 centimeters. This is all the information about the measurement. Thanks very much for reading my story. I hope this story will help further STEAM education. especially in-depth appreciation of Cheomsungdae through modeling activities.